I don't know how the stream quality is gonna be today, guys. I'm really sorry if I'm pixelated again, if there's delays, if there's cutoffs. I'm still not giving into Spectrum yet, so we are still operating off of the hotspot on my $25 phone plan, so we'll just have to make do with whatever we're gifted with today. You can thank Spectrum for being a complete piece of shit, that we don't have great quality streams, and also my own laziness. So what will be, you know? You know? Currently potato. I'm also going to try to pull up the chat on my laptop, so that's going to degrade our speeds even further. And if it gets bad enough, y'all have to keep letting me know that it's unwatchable, and then we'll just end the stream. Because we're not buying Spectrum yet, okay? Wow, it's absolute real shitty. So I'm gonna turn off my computer because that is horrible. So hopefully me turning off my computer will make this less horrible. I don't know, you guys let me know. A friend who helped me get that mirror home has requested that I make him almond butter. So we're gonna make some almond butter. I soaked some lentils and soybeans and brown rice and white rice and red beans, and I'll try to cook for myself. I just went out to dinner with my friend to thank him for his hard work. We came back from Brooklyn with this mirror, and then it turned out that my building's elevator was broken, so he carried it up 3 flights of stairs. So kudos. We're gonna make him some almond butter. I'm going to be boiling away some grains, and we will just chat on this potato. Yes, the temperatures did drop in New York City a lot. Can anyone tell me how bad the visual quality is? Because I can't tell based on my phone. My phone is showing me perfect, but obviously it's not great. First thing we're gonna do is to turn on this oven. We will start it at 350. We're gonna toast the almonds. And then while the almonds are still hot, we're gonna Vitamix it. Feels like 240. Okay. I'm surprised that even with this shit-tastic visual, you are still watching, all 150 of you. I bought 3 pounds of almonds from Apna Bazaar for, it says $13.99, but when we cashed out, it was only $12.99. So only a $2 difference in inflation. At Patel, it used to be $10.99 for 3 pounds, but I think still a great deal. So you are the sunshine of my Sundays as well. Fred is still hiding in the closet, so I'm afraid he won't be coming out. He's having a very difficult time adjusting here in the apartment. So just to be clear with people who are attending this live stream, I am simply taking care of Fred while Aaron's away for the next 10 days. Fred is very scared. This is a new place. It's also big, so he's been hiding. He was meowing all through last night. I was not able to sleep. So I'm also running on severe sleep deprivation because of the move and a new place for me as well, and then Fred meowing like a baby. I felt like a mom. I felt like a mom with a newborn last night. Not to say that a meowing cat is the same thing as a baby that you popped out of your vagina and are going to be worried about for the rest of your life, but I'm just saying, yikes, it's hard. don't have a baby. Oh my God. Spreading it out, popping it in. I did have a recipe, let me see. I'm gonna try to follow it pretty closely because the friend I'm making this for seemed to really like what I did last time. So I'm gonna try very close to follow my own recipe, which I don't always do successfully. One thing that I'm also trying to be better at is labeling my jars like a real cook. It is funny how similar the kitchen layout is, right? So we're gonna toast this at, we're gonna toast this at 325. I'm already wrong with my own recipe. I'm going to label this jar. Once the oven preheats, I am going to toast it for up to 17 minutes. So I'll put that on 19 for now, and I will make my label. I agree. I think cashews are my current favorite nut. But almonds are definitely very good. I, however, do not like cashew butter. I also need to drink water because eating out means I ate a lot more salt than I'm used to. And now I feel extremely thirsty. So let's do that. I actually don't have vitamins on hand yet because I've been very bad about buying all the stuff that I need to buy for myself in the chaos of moving. But I will just remind everybody to please take your vitamins if you have them, especially because winter is coming. And y'all, somebody left a comment on the last live about how much water a dishwasher saves. So I'm actually gonna collect dishes for days and run it. We'll see how well it washes. I'm gonna be very disappointed if I can't collect my dishes to wash every few days. But we'll see. I'm gonna give it a try, you know? Look who it is! Freddie, come here! Come here! Come here, Freddie! Freddie, come here! Did you hear the live? Did you hear the people and you decided to show up? you see the mirror, don't you? He's very confused. Come here, Freddy. Oh. Okay, goodbye, Freddy. Come here, it's the people. They love you. Come here. I already gave them this food in the feeder. That's why he's going to the feeder. He's like, you're giving me 4, but the feeder has 4T. You think I'm dumb, bitch? Have more. Go ahead. But don't eat too fast, Freddy. You're gonna throw up. Don't eat too fast. Watch this. Let's take a break. I don't want you throwing up. Let's take a break. It's left on the timer. What was I doing? Ah, yes. Instant Pot. You had a time skip? Is somebody messing with our dimensions? Here is our soaked red bean. Yes, Fred loves chicken. He also loves tuna and he loves sardines and he loves ube. Any baked good with ube in it, he loves. He can sometimes go for freshly steamed rice, but never leftover. He loves all forms of freshly baked or steamed bread. He's a little bit of a carb monster, just like me. I have some white rice here that I will drain. It's been soaking. We're gonna keep this congee pretty simple because I didn't have much. And I guess I could have bought more, but I didn't, so we're working with this. We have the rice, we have the red beans, lots of water. Okay. I'm going to put in a little bit of brown rice as well into this congee. Okay, now let's take a look at our cupboard and see if there's any other shit I could put in. I can put in some of Mom's barley, actually, and I think I should cook the rest of this barley too. This is Mom's barley. I don't know what it is about the last couple of months, but I've become more and more okay with throwing away shit. I think it might be because of the urgency of the move, just the practicality of not having to drag things back and forth, and of trying to get things a little bit organized in my life, that I've been realizing, like, hey, you've held on to all of these things from Mom for a year now. Maybe it's time to let some of them go. So barley. I'll put this jar in the dishwasher. Brett, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. I've not dealt with cat end-of-life stuff. So if anybody else has any ideas to offer up. So I'm going to put half the barley into Grandma's congee, and I'll leave half of it for me. Okay, no dish soap for dishwasher, only dishwasher detergent. Got it. Thank you. Just reading up some of your comments earlier. Stream looks better. Have people already warned about the steam from the Instant Pot maybe not being great for the cupboards for the long term? That's extremely good to know. Maybe I'll bring Mom's stool back in here. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. What is the sense of urgency in moving? I mean, if any of you have ever moved, you know that there's just always a need to get things moving and get things done. That's it. Just the general urgency of a move taking place, I think. Why is my timer 0 already? Was it that fast? Did it happen? I'm gonna set another 7-minute timer. I don't think that was... The stream has only been going for 20 minutes. unfinished dishwashing tablets. I'll write it down. Thank you for that. I was given, okay, so maybe you guys can teach me something about this. I was given 2 of these trial tablets and then this Power Dry Rinse Aid. Do I need this or just this? 2 cups of dishwashing soap and baking soda is good too. I have a feeling dishwasher is going to be more expensive for me. I need the rinse aid? Huh. Look at us learning all together. Grandma doesn't like spices, so we're gonna skip out on that. We also have some of Mom's millet. That's interesting. Maybe I'll add a little bit of millet in there. I don't think I'm gonna finish the millet, but just a little for Grandma's congee. I love millet, by the way. I think it's a wonderful grain. I don't know, Jasmine, it's just a tiny little baby grain. Tiny. Smaller than quinoa even. I don't know if it's been gentrified as the next superfood or super grain yet, but it's great. Okay, so we got all of these going on. Yes, birds love millet too. I would stay away from powders. Oh, okay. So tablets are the way to go? Gotcha. All right. Just shaking my sugar. A tiny bit of salt. And I think that's it for today. Not too many things going on. Oh, and a little bit of our cranberry seeds for pops of red. Let me see if I have flax still. Huh. Maybe I don't. I thought I did. Oh, found it. A little bit of flax seeds for Grandma. I think Fred went to retire back to his closet, so I'm just gonna leave him alone. And we'll go ahead and set that. So that's on. The next order me is to cook off my grain mush. What's the most exotic thing you've ever made or eaten? I don't know. For me, I think the moment that I tasted like uni and caviar and foie gras, because those were price point wise and class wise inaccessible to me up until a certain point where it was offered to me for free or paid for already by someone else. Those seemed exotic to me. I guess from other people's point of view, like certain kinds of Oregon meat, maybe like the one time I recall from childhood when I was still in Beijing that mom bought me goat's eyeballs. Like, I like them, but people are gonna be like, ew, goat's eyeballs. But yeah, you know, just depends on who's judging you for what exotic is. I'm starting to smell the almonds, which is a good sign. I'm very sad that I lost track on the baking time though. But I don't think these are quite ready, so I'm gonna go a little bit longer. In terms of my mush, I obviously left behind some of the pots with Aaron. I left Aaron the cast iron pan, but no worries because I kept my Le Creuset. And up until now, I've been saving the Le Creuset for like video production and on-camera stuff. But I think we're gonna treat ourselves and just start using this since I have it. Why not, right? You guys are talking so fast, and now I don't have a computer to look at. How do I feel so far living in a new place? Pretty snazzy, guys. Most of your cooking seems to go well with my low FODMAP diet. That's good. I thought legumes were not allowed on the FODMAP, though. The most vile cereal I've ever tasted, Cinnamon Toast Crunch made a Fuego version. Ew. That sounds horrible. Why would you eat the eyeballs? I don't know. Why would you eat the breast? Why would you eat the egg? Why would you eat the thigh? I don't know. Good question. Okay, not too much fiber or grain for Lala. Interesting. I'm gonna dilute the congee after it comes out. I water it down with ice cubes to chill it down faster so I can fridge it faster. So she'll get a much more diluted version of that. I I love Le Creuset, but we'll never be able to afford it, so I got Aldi knockoff instead. How do you like the Aldi version? I'm going to do more of my shopping at Aldi, especially for their Greek yogurt. It is absolutely one of the most delicious Greek yogurts I've ever tasted. It tastes like sour cream, if you're into that. Very smooth. I got this one for free. I also would have never spent $300 to $400 on a Le Creuset. So, how still awake after a move? Good question. I haven't really slept since August. I've slept like 2 nights with over 7 hours of sleep since August. I don't know how I'm still alive, but I'm still going. I really hope that Fred won't meow all through the night tonight so I can actually sleep. It would be delightful too. I'm going to turn off my oven. I'm going to let the almonds chill in there for a sec. I'm going to bring out my other pot. Or should I say, maybe let's use this skillet for my remaining grains. Yeah. This is the frying pan for Lala's youtiao in the morning, so we're not going to touch that. That's going to sit over there. Almonds look good. I'm going to leave them in the off oven for 3 more minutes. And then I'm going to get out the Vitamix in preparation for making almond butter. I hope my neighbors won't mind. It is kind of late, but not late enough. I think it'll be fine. Melatonin, I haven't. Fred at my place because Aaron's away on a trip. My new mattress feels pretty good, but I haven't been able to sleep. Hopefully that changes. Would you say Le Creuset is worth saving it up? I would say it's a really nice pot. It conducts heat fairly well. You will achieve less burning on the bottom of the pot with a heavy-duty pot like this. However, the price point is very inaccessible to most people, so I think it's your call. Depends on how much you like cooking in large pots and how often you do it. It's a personal decision. I think I would never have spent $400 on a pot, period. Yes, you did hear youtiao in the morning. Did Aaron happen to leave some piece of clothing that smells like him? They're all in the Woodside apartment. Loved your latest budget eats. It was nostalgic of your first budget eats? How so? Because of the Aaron appearances, maybe? I'm fascinated because I think somebody else commented that it was like the first one. So, people know this, but technically my first budget eats video was not the one with Aaron in it. It was the one that I shot on my cell phone. That's about 35 or 39 minutes long. Just found the largest piece of rock in Mom's barley. Yikes. Imagine if I didn't wash this and I just boiled it. That's like $500 worth of dental fees right there. Aaron and I, okay, let's clear this up. If there's anyone who came from the latest Budget Eats and was like, hold up, I'm confused. The title says my partner shops for me. I thought they broke up. Yes, you're correct. We have been broken up since April of 2021. But just because we broke up doesn't mean it's anyone else's business. And it certainly doesn't have to be something that I post all over in my professional setting, right? For the purposes of my job and for the purposes of my public persona, I was still living with Aaron and we were still life partners. In a lot of fucking ways, we are still partners. We are still co-parents of Fred. We still help each other out. We're still, I don't know if I'm his best friend, but we're still very good friends. And I depend on a lot of his opinions and his help from time to time. And I don't know what people expect out of a word as vague as partner, because you could be sexual partners. You could be business partners. You could be life partners. You could be spiritual partners. I don't know, there's probably 10,000 other kinds of partners you could be. Like, just because it says my partner shops for me does not mean that he's my boyfriend or my fiance or my husband or my boy toy. Like, you're the one attributing meaning to the word partner. I gave you the word partner. You're affixing the adjective that modifies the word partner in your mind. So, I don't know who you're angry about. I got this very angry comment on that Budget Eats episode that was like, it's really shady of Delish to post this after they've broken up. Like, what's going on there? And I was like, hey, it takes the team a long time to produce one of these. Like, post-production takes 2 months. And then I got another reply off of that comment that was like, wow, you're just as bad as Delish. Unfollowed both. And I'm like, okay. Goodbye. Jesus Christ. Baby girl. All I'm saying is the team worked hard on the content. Did you enjoy it or did you not? And what does my personal relationships have to do with the content that I make regarding food? Is this when you ask people to touch grass? I also don't know what that means. I think I get it. People want to be told the truth because we have a lot of deception flying around in our current world, and people just don't want to feel like they're consuming something that is being deceptive, inaccurate, misleading. I totally get it. However, sometimes y'all just can't handle the truth, and there isn't enough time and space to explain the truth fully in. You want to get to truth with a capital T, some people spend 3 lifetimes on that shit. So for the purposes of commercialism, which unfortunately is what Budget Eats is, because it's a show produced for a media company that basically makes its money on selling advertisement and gaining revenue from selling advertisement, that's what Budget Eats is made for. I make Budget Eats for the audience, but the company uses video content like Budget Eats to sell ads. So for the purposes of the company who is profiting off of my labor, it doesn't matter who Aaron is. It just matters that we make the content that people watch, and that the more eyeballs are on that content, the more ad revenue they'll get, and the more advertisers they'll get for future ventures. Does that make sense, kids? I love you. Businesses love your money. You know what I'm saying? And for the purposes of my job, I gotta do my job. And let's be honest, I love you because you love me, right? I think you loved me first. I think I just used you in the beginning because my therapist told me to be more social. So I was like, all right, let's develop some parasocial relationships on YouTube Lives so I can be more social without getting COVID. But I think a lot of relationships are based off of usage, right? Like, we use each other. It just depends on what the intention behind that usage is. It should be a consensual relationship of mutual using. Because when you get used by people that you love, sometimes it feels good for you. Because we're all masochistic at the very core. I think a long time ago, I promised you guys that I was gonna make soy milk. So I soaked some soybeans. And now I think we're going to, how do you make soybeans? How do you make soybeans? How do you make soybeans? Okay, I think what you do is you soak the soybeans, you wash them, you clean them, you grind them with water, you strain out the solids, and then you boil the liquid and you cook the soybean milk. Is that right? If that's the case, we're gonna make our almond butter first, and then we're gonna make some almond butter tinged soy milk so I don't have to wash that Vitamix out. Yeah? So for right now, while the almonds are cooling off a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and drain this and wash it. I'm also gonna throw a handful of this into our grains pot. I don't know why, I just felt like doing it, so I'm gonna do it because YOLO. Yes, if you're wondering, I am trying to make YOLO a thing again. So will you join me in this venture in resurrecting YOLO from the dead? And I would just like to say, for the people who are paying attention to the number of viewers who are watching, we are up to 391. We're doing this on a 4-year-old phone with no internet, on a hotspot, filmed in a potato at 240p maximum. Sometimes it spazzes into a melting pool of like expired chocolate. So to all of you who say content needs to be made on like 8,000K resolution, not if you want 389 viewers. Yes, so this is an air up. I got this from a media event. I'm currently sticking it in my thermos, which doesn't work very well because their straw is bent to fit with this bent bottle that it came in. The flavor pod is here. Okay, that's where the flavor is. You push it into here, not fully, because when you push it fully, you can't suck air into it, but air is what gives your water flavor. I would say for the most part, this is a very cool idea. I do not like the product myself. I would not buy the product myself. I was given this for free at a media event. The reason being that because you need air, maybe I got like a faulty product. I don't think it is, but because you need to let air into here to have this flavor essence flavor your water through the air bubbles, you basically are drinking half water, half air. So it does work better with seltzer water because you are less able to discern the amount of air that you're swallowing with every single mouthful. But when you drink it with still water, you can feel the bubbles entering your mouth and it becomes like bloaty. But I can taste the flavor. I can taste the flavor. It's plastic. This is plastic, which means you're contributing more plastic waste. And I think we've become more aware of like how much plastic there is in our lives. So I don't think this is a great product for 2022. It's not on trend anymore to use plastic like this. You can taste the plastic sometimes if the water sits in here too long. I would not spend money on this. That's my real review. But I have it, so I use it as a drinking straw. Does that make sense? The plastic does get, like, the straw does start to smell. It starts to smell probably because not only is it like getting residual flavors from this pod, but this straw is inserted into this mechanism, and I bet you there's a lot of mouth bacteria that gets trapped in here. So I could just use a straw for sure. And I bet you heard the air bubbles just now using that straw. Did you hear it? But if you use the straw alone, you won't get this flavor pod in. So again, it's an unnecessary product made for an audience who wants to feel like they're not drinking just water, but there's nothing wrong with just drinking water. For the novelty factor, it does make drinking water fun, which is kind of like the mission statement that was stated by one of the co-founders at the media event that I attended, where they gave these things to us for free and taught us all about the science of flavor in food. But at this point, I feel like we can all agree we don't need more plastic products. Why not just add a flavor packet? Their reasoning is because this is actually just an air scent. It's not actually flavoring your water. It's kind of hijacking your olfactory senses. So it's making you smell the essence instead of eating the essence, if that makes sense. And by making your nose smell it, it tricks your perception on your taste buds to think that, like, your brain is tricked into thinking that you're drinking lemon water, whereas you're just actually smelling lemon water. The science behind it is kind of snazzy, you know, for entry-level folks, kind of mind-blowing, but again, plastic. Can't get beyond the plastic. I think it's time we start flavoring this lentil mush. I would like to flavor this lentil mush. Because it is starting to turn mushy. Off topic, can crispy wontons be filled with veggies? Yeah, sure, why not? Why not? Guys, I really need to buy vegetables. What the fuck? I have nothing here. I have no vegetables. This is all my fault. I've been passing by vegetable stands, but like the 99-cent pound broccoli is all spoiled, and then the next price bracket up is like $4.99 a pound for cauliflower, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? What's happening here? Why is this so expensive? I should just go out to eat all the time, right? Anyway, expired green curry paste. Extremely expired. It says used by March 9, 2022. Oh, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I have just been eating tortilla chips and chocolate for the past 5 days. I know it's bad. You don't have to tell me it's bad. I know it's bad. Anyway, that's why Ram came over and brought me vegetables, but I haven't even managed to be an adult to buy myself vegetables. Why not? I don't know. You know, Ram is a superhero, truly. Some people, like my mom, like Ram, like my friend who got me this mirror home today, are just too good of a giver. And to all the givers out there, please take care of yourself. Be mom, but don't be mom, because mom died. And I don't want y'all to die. So please, the givers must take care of themselves. I mean, yes, we will all die. I just don't want you to die prematurely because, you know, you need to stay alive until I'm dead. So I can keep having you around to give to me. But I also need you to stay alive so you can give to me, you know? I did go to Swarthmore. Do you actually know Swarthmore? Not a lot of people do. All right, let's taste one of these almonds. Here we go. Perfectly toasted, not too brown. Let's go in with a little bit of dehydrated onion since I don't have real onion. Oh my god. Definitely just drop the lid of the spice jar into the pot. Don't worry. We're doing great. Swarthmore I went to because they gave an amazing financial aid package. NYU is very expensive. Just for comparison's sake, Swarthmore's financial aid covered all but $8,000 per year, plus books, which I was able to work, study, and supplement with outside scholarships. NYU gave me a one-time grant of like $2,000, and their tuition is like 50-something K a year. So fuck NYU, only the rich kids go there. I also got into CUNY Honors Hunter, which I was considering because what happens with CUNY Honors is it's a full ride, free, all 4 years. And if you choose not to live on campus, they give you a 10K stipend per year. That was back in 2007 when I went to college. So it was for me between Amherst College, which was way more preppy and white presenting than Swarthmore. They also gave a pretty good financial aid package. It was between Amherst, Swarthmore, and CUNY Honors Hunter. And I chose Swarthmore because I didn't want to stay in the city anymore. I needed my freedom away from my parents, so I chose. I took Fred between the homes in a cat backpack. We're gonna go in with a little bit of ground citron. And just for kicks, I'm gonna drop in a star anise. I don't know why, I just wanted to do it. Just let me do it. I also have this ground up red yeast rice, which is used to color a lot of Chinese meats. I opened this in November of 2020 for an episode of Budget Eats, if you remember the Christmas episode. I never used it. Liberal arts college, they seem elite but super tiny. It depends. Yeah, it can be quite elitist. And Swarthmore is very tiny. Our graduating class was like 300 something. So the whole school was like 15 to 1600 people. Tiny. Only undergrad. So. Amherst is, all private colleges are expensive, but Amherst gave me a pretty decent scholarship. I applied through a program called QuestBridge. And it was for lower income families, and they basically had a common app of their own, and they waived all the application fees to their partner schools that fell under the QuestBridge program. So I basically didn't have to pay for any of the application fees. I think I was only allowed to apply to 8 schools for free under my high school's like low income student help thing. So I think I applied to Columbia and UPenn for my mom because she wanted me to go to those schools. I applied to Brown, which was the only Ivy that I wanted to go to. They waitlisted me. I applied to Harvard, but Harvard ended up taking 2 early actions from my high school graduating class, so that was a no-go. Probably wasn't elite enough for Harvard either because I had an interview with Harvard. They seated me in a huge mirrored ballroom in their Harvard club in the Upper East Side. I had not 1 but 2 interviewers, and I thought I did pretty well during the interview, except when it came to the last question, which was, if your friends were in this room with you, what 1 word would they use to describe you? And I took like 2 whole minutes to think about this, and I was like, weird. And I just saw their faces go like confused, like something had misfired inside their brain. And it took them a few seconds to be like, weird. Why? And I was just like, you know, it's just me. I don't remember what I said. I just remembered I said weird. And I remember thinking as soon as I said it and their faces clicked that I wasn't going to get into Harvard. And I remember also feeling within a millisecond of that, I'm not getting into Harvard. Fuck it. And I was really proud of myself for saying what I wanted to say. I also really wanted to go to U Chicago, but Mom wouldn't let me apply because she was racist, and she was also not wanting me to go that far, but she was like, you're gonna get shot in Chicago. I also wanted to apply to Stanford and Pomona College in California, and she was like, you're gonna die in an earthquake. So couldn't go to Chicago because I was gonna get shot, and couldn't go to California because I was gonna die in an earthquake. There you have it. Only East Coast. We're gonna make the almond butter now. This is a double batch because my friend deserves it. You want to blend the almonds while it's still warm. You don't want it hot so that it's burning your hand, but you want it to feel like laundry that just came out of the dryer warm. Whoops. For you folks who have this magical thing called the Vitamix, stay on the lowest speed. It'll make your life a lot easier. I promise. But also maybe remember to unfurl your cable before you put the stuff into your machine. I would have never wanted to go to culinary school. I think it's a racket. Sometimes I drink 2 cups of water, and sometimes I drink 10 cups of water. What do you mean a racket? I mean you pay a lot of money to learn things that you could learn that people pay you to do, aka working in restaurants. And some chefs actually prefer it if you didn't go to culinary school because they can teach you the way they want to teach you. I am also a person who doesn't learn well in a school setting, so I learned that for myself and I chose not to go to culinary school. I can't cook Dominican food, and I can't even say I've actually had Dominican food, ever. So, one day. I wouldn't work in a fancy restaurant. Because that's just not my thing. If you want to be a Michelin-starred chef, then yeah, maybe go to culinary school, but that was never my path. You have to determine what your path is. Even if it's in one industry, there are many different levels, layers, nuances, and streams that you could be in. You want to see me on Chopped? Sure. I don't know how you get onto Chopped, but hey, you know, if Chopped wants me, hit me up. Your girl's here. think making a double batch was a mistake. This motor is definitely gonna burn out before we get it done, but how did you break in? I live in New York City. They always need minimum wage labor. It's not glamorous working in restaurants. It's backbreaking work for very little pay, no benefits, and a lot of passive aggressive chefs or even violent ones. TV shows love to glamorize it. Did I learn a lot? Hell fucking yeah. Did I taste a lot of good food and learn a lot about flavors? Yes. Did I learn technique? Mm-hmm. Was it emotionally healthy? No. What foods smell better than they actually are? Coffee. Mom always loved the smell of coffee, never liked drinking it. Favorite Thanksgiving side dish is the cranberry. What kind of restaurant should you go to? Anyone that would take you. Probably a fast casual place. Work your way up. Go to a fast casual place. My first job was assembling sandwiches. Honestly, my favorite job. It's not about the elitism. It's not about the Michelin star for me. It was about just doing work that I liked doing and feeding people. Fuck the Michelin stars. Fuck the James Beard Award. They're fine. They're great. If you like it, love it. I don't care about it. So, you know. So I don't hate canned cranberry, but I like to make my own because you literally just buy a bag of cranberries, add however much sugar you want to it, and flavor it however you want or not. And you know, depending on whether or not you get your cranberries on sale, it could be cheaper than the canned stuff. So cranberry apple butter sounds amazing. Do you like your Vitamix? Yes, but I would recommend that you don't get this stout container. You should get the thin original container. This one is supposed to fit under counters, but I don't think the engineering of the design is as good. As evidenced by the fact that the almonds aren't going anywhere. And thus we break out the tamp. I burnt out of restaurants after 4.5 years and I tried to get into food media. The first time I applied to Delish, I was rejected with no answer. The second time, I took an internship with a food writer who was pushing out a recipe cookbook, and I was her recipe tester. And after 2 months of working with her, I name dropped her in my next application to Delish, and she turned out to know the food deputy editor at the time for Delish, so I got an interview. It's about who you know, not what you do. It's true. Sucks, but it's true. There we go. We burnt the motor. Sad. I don't know why I was rejected, probably because they didn't know who the fuck I was, and so they didn't care. I didn't hear back, so, you know, jobs reject you without telling you what happened. That's just the way our world functions now. I'm gonna put this in the freezer, or the fridge, whichever one fits, which might be neither one, actually. Neither one fits. That sucks. It stops itself automatically when it's overheating. That's what happens when you burn out the motor. The motor just dies temporarily. But all you need to do is to give it time to recuperate its senses. Just like us, your blender needs a vacay too. I have no plans for Thanksgiving. Does anybody want to invite me? I think I was invited to one Friendsgiving, but honestly, I'm so burnt out from this move, and I still have so much messiness going on in this apartment and shit that I need to figure out and things that I need to put together that I don't think I want to be social. I don't know, maybe I'll do a Thanksgiving stream on here. Actually, I would love to go to Oklahoma. I've heard that there are some fantastic restaurants in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma, so I will travel for food. Chicken birria, turkey birria, Interesting. Where's the fat coming from? Because turkey's pretty lean, and I feel like birria needs some fat, grease. See? You can be family with your exes. People are like melting down because they're not sure what my relationship status is. And I'm just like, yo, why are you so hot and bothered? I'm doing fine. You good? Hell yeah, Mexican Thanksgiving in Phoenix sounds amazing. What do you eat for Mexican Thanksgiving in your family? I would love to know. And I'm very sorry that every other word is a burp because that water is making me very gassy. Is there anything else I can rant about? While I wait for my blender to come back to life? Let me know. Regarding relationships, I've heard that women leave a relationship emotionally before we do physically. I think it's true. If you're happy regardless of your relationship status, good for you. Thank you. Tamales. I don't even know what albondigas is, but it sounds good. Any delish drama? Oh, baby, there's always delish drama. It's okay. I'll save it for Christmas, okay? Get ready. Get excited. Are we excited at how elections went? No. You have hope for this country? I don't know where you at. Smoked pork butt. Okay. Better than turkey. Do you believe in ghosts? Sometimes. I think so. But, cornbread over cast iron. Fire. That sounds good. Albondigas is meatballs. Guys, I love meatballs. My secret is that I like ground meat more than any other shape of meat. I love ground meat. I don't know why. It's a texture thing, I think. I do miss my refrigerator, but I think I love this one too. It feels like home and less like business. And besides, have I shown you the magnet collection? I basically have all of my old magnets, some of them in the same place. And the magnets are really what make the fridge. Because, you know, I still have this one. That's me and my mom. And now I can put Bernie shit on here. And I have her union stuff. I have a card that my coworker Lauren gave me. Love her to pieces. I have a No Chefs, No Master sticker here. Love it. I have a naked pinup lady, and then I have my tattoo pinup lady, and then I have my other tattoo here. I have a t-shirt that I cut out from a t-shirt that I had when I was like 3 years old. I have this random, I don't even know what you call it thing that I bought at a thrift store in Brooklyn. I have a random pinup lady from a cassette tape that I found from my parents' cassette tape collection as I was cleaning through my mom's house. I have the Swarthmore campus magnet collection that mimics the landmarks of our campus. So yeah, it's great. I need more vegetables in there, but it's fine. Bigger isn't better. It's just about how much you need. Personal question. Obs, your relationship status is your own business. Yes, thank you for recognizing that. But would your younger self have been surprised by how non-conventional your personal life is? Yeah, of course. She was a different person back then. What is the best food when sick? I think it depends on who you are. When I'm sick, I mean, depends on how sick I am, but I really like fruits when I'm sick. Mole with pork, Spanish rice, and my mom's beans. Elote flan, apple pie. Yo, Mexican holidays are where it's at, baby. That sounds so good. I would love pasteles, for sure. I think so. I would love to go to Germany. You know that. You know that I've been wanting to go to Germany for years. Venison or elk stew. That sounds amazing too. Listen, I loved the other fridge. It was amazing. It was humongous. It was everything that I needed for work and more. But now I have this one. And I am doing a much better job after Mom died at embracing the concept of amor fati, like love the fate, love of your fate. And I have this fridge. I'm privileged enough to have a working fridge. It is big. It's not as fancy and French double-doored as the other one. It doesn't beep at me when I keep it open for too long, and it keeps things cold, which is all I can ask of a fridge. Are Mexican tamales like Chinese zongzi? I think so. They're both wrapped in leaves with some sort of grain that holds together a sort of filling in the middle. Apt. Lauren of Whoa Low. Yes. How many of you have seen an episode of Whoa Low? That was like my first appearance on Delish videos. And it wasn't even intentional. It just happened. Do you think you'll be taking your grandma to China once China gets rid of the zero COVID policy? And if grandma is fit enough to travel? Yeah, it's what she wants. I want to get her back. But right now the plane tickets, I believe, are still 10 grand. And the travel is like 2 days. And then you still have to quarantine. And China's zero COVID policy is making everything a headache. So no, not right now. Particularly the freezer. Sure, I'll show you everything in my life. A lot of King Arthur flowers, some of my holdovers from the old fridge. Yep, that's it. Not very exciting. I hope you enjoyed that. What else, my masters, would you like to see of my life? KCS, I missed your previous messages, but you're inviting spontaneous chefs to explore their creativity to extended stays. Where in the world are you? And yes, I'm interested. Yeah. That sounds like everything I want to do on someone else's dime. So you're telling me all expenses paid. Are you a scammer? Worst food poisoning. I can't remember right now, but I will tell you, I have the worst runs if I eat more than one pear in a sitting. The first time I thought it was because I ate discounted pears, and then by the third time it happened, I was like, oh no, it's just pears. For intrusive questions, you can always ignore them if they are not too over the line, right? I reserve the right to ignore all questions because I reserve the right to not say anything. But you're free to ask. But if you keep asking and you're not getting answers, I think it becomes clear which answers I am not willing to share right now. I love the Karen ends. Talking to each other about how great their names are, solidarity of the Karens. Oh yes, oatmeal is a great food for me, but when I'm sick, something about the texture of oatmeal is like too cloying. So not for me, but I'm glad it works out for you. Where do you live that cashews are $38 for 2 ounces? I was actually trying to decide if I wanted to buy cashews because I was struggling with the concept of paying $20 for 3 pounds. So you need to come to Jackson Heights, Queens, New York City ASAP. Hi, Montreal. The nice blonde lady that reviews menus at restaurants. Her name is Julia Smith. She is very dear to me. We're gonna cancel this congee pot. We're going to unplug it, and we're going to wait for it to depressurize on its own. Lentils are still going. What do I snack on? Chips and chocolate. It's horrible. Damn. Your maternal grandmother died of pneumonia a week before she was to get on the boat to America after World War II, and they didn't put her name on the stone correctly. You would like to try to find her grave. That sounds like a documentary waiting to happen. I'm not ready to share the rest of the apartment because it's not built out yet. It's a mess. So one day, but not today. Bathroom, if you saw me on Instagram, you saw the bathroom yesterday. It was on my story. This is, yes, I made this curtain from a picnic blanket that I took off of the free table at Delish and never used. And it has like writings in red up top that you can't really see, but it's faint. You see some lines. And it has this like really disturbing brown spot that we're not going to talk about again, okay? Thank you. Wow, Annalisa is an OG. Annalisa has seen the episode of my live stream where I was like, I'm gonna go live, but I don't want to cook, so I'm just gonna work out. That was peak pandemic behavior. I was going crazy. And now it lives on the internet forever. What foods do you snack on the most? nuts, anything nut butter, toasted nuts, untoasted nuts, just a lot of nuts, fruits, and chips and chocolate. Self-sustaining creative acreage farm in the Missy Mountains in Nicaragua. Yeah. Reach out to me. If you're on Instagram, I'm thank9stars. 9 is a number. And it's actually, thank9stars is actually going to be my YouTube handle, because YouTube is rolling out like this handle system like Instagram has. And the reason why my Instagram is called thank9stars is because that is a literal translation of my Chinese name. In Chinese, your family name, aka your last name, is the first name to appear in the sequence of names. So my last name is Xie, which means thank. And my first name in Chinese is 9 stars. So my Chinese name is pronounced family name first, Xie Jiu Xing. So my name is thank9stars. So I'm thinking about changing this YouTube name soon too to thank9stars so that it corresponds with my Instagram handle, which June like the month is something that I made in college. I thought it was cute because everybody was like, oh, June like Jun, because so many Koreans and Asians spell their names Jun. So I would always have to specify like, no, it's June spelled like the month. And that's very much a college holdover. But I really like my Chinese name. I think it's very meaningful and it's very cute. And I don't know, there's something about being in touch with your given identity that makes it feel wholesome. So I'm thinking about it. So if one day this YouTube channel turns into thank9stars and you're like, who the fuck is this chick? I hope you've seen this live. Jasmine persimmons. I actually have them in the fridge. I don't have window herbs yet, but I will. Yeah. I snack on tuna. I snack on a lot of things. Hi Grease. I don't have particulars of what I snack on, y'all. 443 people watching me cook a pot of mush and my face taking up 80% of the screen feels just like old times, y'all. Personal question, what have you learned thus far from your mom's life and death? I learned so much after my mom's death, what to do and what not to do in life. I hope it makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. I will say that I have aged and changed so much since mom died. This past year has been a tremendous amount of personal pivots, personal development, personal change, personal discovery, personal transformation, and all of those might sound very similar, but I think they have a slight nuance between all of them. At times, I didn't know if this was a good direction that my life was taking, but I decided that any direction is just a way forward, and even if you're unsure of where it leads you, it's where you're going anyway. So I've learned a lot. I've learned to speak up for myself more, and I think most of all, I've learned to trust my gut more. If my gut tells me that this doesn't feel like the right thing, then I trust it. And before, I wasn't going to so willingly jump on a feeling, but I've been living my life more in accordance with how I feel. And it might not always be the so-called smart thing to do. It might not always be the practical thing to do. It might not always make the most financial sense or logical sense, but I think our world has proven itself to be illogical. So why hold myself to any of those standards, especially when I've seen my mom die so suddenly and unexpectedly. In terms of planning, I don't even plan out anything beyond 2 weeks anymore. My brain doesn't hold on to time, and projections like that anymore. Oh, are you still dead? No. Dang, guys. I done fucked up. I didn't even think it was that bad, actually. But it would suck if I killed my Vitamix on a live. One of you suggested earlier that I take out half the batch. Maybe I shall. I promise I'll come back to your comments after I figure out if I killed my blender or not. It was just too much for it. Alright, let me read some comments. I don't think I'll always want to live in New York City. I think I want to live elsewhere, at least for a couple of years. But right now I can't leave because of Grandma. I'm basically locked in until either Grandma makes it back to China or dies. Like, plain and simple. Thank you, KCS. Looking forward to that invite. It might have to be until after Grandma dies. So take your time, no rush. Chips and chocolate are currently a daily snack for the past week. Yes, I'm not proud of it. Doesn't make me feel great. Listen, Anxious Gary says, you know, one of us is weird enough to be keeping a catalog of these videos. If any of you are that crazy person who have made a detailed list of which lives covered which topics, please give that list to me. I would love to have it. If you're already doing the work, share the creativity and the labor. I'm good with the Arnold poster, but I appreciate the offer. Hi Nalco for 15 minutes. What is getting stirred so nicely, June? It's lentils. I think it needs more liquid, honestly. Yeah, I'm just gonna put water in it. I was thinking about putting other things, but I think water is fine. Do you have a favorite scent? The scent of donuts, for sure. June just wanders around her kitchen rambling on and feeding her cat. Yes, truly. Ever try Finnish food? Just like the broad and very basic sides. Not really Finnish food. My favorite variety of apple? Can't pick, I'm sorry. But I do have a thing for mutsus, and I have a thing for Cavil Blanc, and recently a lot of russeted apple varieties, you know, that look like russet potatoes. Great. I don't need shower curtains, I have them. Thank you. Those veins in your arm are nice and juicy. Thank you. We have a vampire in the crowd. Watch out, folks. You even look physically different pre and post your mom's passing. Yes, I do. Would you be willing to share with me, like, honestly, I won't be offended. Would you be willing to share with me all the changes that you see? I'm asking because I'm curious. I've noticed a lot of changes in myself, but a lot of friends, I think they're just being nice to me, have told me, you haven't changed that much, don't worry about it. And I think they're just trying to make me feel better, but I think their denial of my perception is actually unconsciously and consciously somewhat disturbing to me. So since you guys are not really invested in me personally the way that my IRL friends are, I would love to hear from your point of view how I've changed, how you've perceived me to be changed physically and personality wise after mom's passing, because I would love to have an outside opinion of like more objective mirrors, essentially. But if you're willing to share, I would love to hear, and I will take no offense at it. Hello, Mauritius. Yes, thank you for the reminder about Fred's food. Putting it back now. I love how y'all care more for my cat than I care for my cat. I mean that non-sarcastically. I truly appreciate. Like, you don't know how many times you guys have saved my life. Ram has saved my life IRL. You guys have also saved my life IRL, just virtually, so. Yes, I did toast the nuts. Who will take care of Grandma, her son? I'm 5 minutes away from Grandma now. I have not tried proper tadig, but I would like to. Cashews aren't nuts, but seeds? My life is a lie. I like immersion blenders. I don't have plans for anything, not even Spam. Did you see the bugs crawling behind me? What bugs? Jesus. Do you want to tell me what bugs you saw? Now I'm completely freaked. My ear piercing is healing, but like not great. Woodier mushrooms is hot and sour soup. Yes, my face has definitely changed into not as smiley. But I think that's been happening since the pandemic happened. You know what's wrong with this almond butter? I think it's the brand of almonds that I bought. I need to stick to the Patel Brothers almonds. I think they're fattier, and the natural fat makes it easier to blend. So fun fact, I never grew up with Christopher Kimball. I think that's like 10 years before my generation of food media. So no, I don't miss him because I never knew him. Birthmark, this is not a birthmark, this is a sunspot, which means if it's growing, that could turn into skin cancer. But yeah, that's not a birthmark. I only have one birthmark and it's on my leg, which people always think is a bruise. My face looks thinner now. Interesting. I think you look more tired. I am tired, baby girl. I haven't slept since August. I'm glad that this is good for your anxiety. I'm happy to be here for you. You look more like your mom to me. See, that makes me happy. One, because she's beautiful, and two, because, how do I say this? I think I've mentioned this before on a live, but I think I've pondered the question of whether or not when we die, our energy kind of just disperses into the people who remain, who we loved. So for a while, I was comforting myself with the idea that part of mom funneled into me. But that would make me extremely happy. Less fragile. Interesting. I still have my moments. I still get angry at grandma so many times, but I do feel like I'm less likely to be immediately reactive to things. I think because when mom died, like that just broke a part of me inside. And it's like a temperature gauge. Once it's broken, it doesn't detect change in atmosphere that precisely, and it becomes less sensitive. So I think mom's death desensitized me to a lot of things, because comparatively speaking, nothing is as important anymore when put into the perspective her death. I seem more present. Interesting. Eye rings are more noticeable. I think I'm also just getting older, guys. Like, we're coming up on 3 years of this pandemic period of our lives. Even if mom hadn't died, I would be surprised if I didn't change in these ways. But yeah, thank you for sharing. Did your mom's death affect my relationship? I think so. Willing to compromise, but also fight for what you believe in, maybe. I hope so. More patient and accepting, perhaps. That would be nice. Those are values that are good to have, I think. That weird Facebook marketplace lady. You seem more thoughtful and mature a bit. I'll take it. Who's gonna hit me with the hard stuff? Like, I'm sure there's bad stuff. So, the year after mom's death, my weight has definitely fluctuated a lot. It was also in conjunction with other depressive factors in my life. I think, but it's very strange to me. I feel like I don't have control over my body anymore. I think it's just aging. Like before, I think in my 20s, if I wanted to like lose weight, I could do it very quickly. But now it's like if I don't want to lose weight, my body just does it anyway. And if I do want to lose weight, my body's just like, nah. So I think that's also been a part of coming to grasp with what aging entails and giving up control. And I think giving up control has been an ongoing theme in my entire life, but I think in the past year, after a certain amount of months after mom passed, I definitely hit a point mentally where I was like, I can't keep trying to make sure everything I do is perfect, and I can't keep trying to make sure every choice I make is the right one, quote unquote right. And I just let it go. And if bad things happen, then I just roll with it. That's it. The biggest change was your selfishness. Before, you're sometimes really obnoxiously self-centered, after you gained so much more insight into other people's behaviors and feelings. I would agree. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm still pretty self-centered, as evidenced by these lives, but working on it. Made you look. normally this recipe has oil in it, but I don't have oil, guys. So I don't know what to do. I think my friend will just have to do without the oil because I used all the oil for Lala's youtiao. I have like a droplet left in here. Womp womp. Back to comments. I think I'm an INFJ. I'm glad you enjoyed the old journal readout during Mom's house clean out because those journals I got ripped. Those journals are no longer, they do not exist anymore, but do you listen to any stand-up? Yeah, there's a stand-up I recently watched on Netflix. It's an Asian dude. I think he might be Chinese. He has glasses, long hair, gives off complete Mitch Hedberg vibes. I unfortunately do not know his name, but if you know his name, drop it in the comments down below because like I laughed so hard at his entire routine and the way that he kind of emanates the essence of Mitch is incredible. Not just from the physical standpoint, there is a lot of that, but like the delivery and the content, a lot of it. And he's Asian, so it helps because, you know, I relate a lot more to Asian comedians being Asian myself, but I really enjoyed him. Oh, I know Chris Kimball is still alive. I never consumed his content is what I mean. I'm glad you guys are liking the Lala content on the IG. A lot of people have said they love it, so I keep doing it. I am already half my mom, you're right. Sometimes I just don't look like her and it upsets me because she's much more beautiful of a person than my dad. I would love to connect with Mike Chen. If any of you have connects with Mikey, hook us up. I would love to eat out with Mike Chen. Like, he knows where the food is. We're getting there. Yeah, I'm not super happy with this batch of almonds, unfortunately. Sorry, it's taking me forever to go through these comments. You have a spot on your face that has gotten darker. Is it this one? It's this one, isn't it? Keep talking, it's fine. June, you've always used food to pacify and punish yourself, yes? I don't think I've used food to punish myself consciously, but I've definitely used food to pacify myself, and that has a side effect of punishing myself. But I'm still working through that aspect of my relationship with food. Oh, we died again. Gosh, we were so close. We were so close with this batch. So close. I could call it quits, but I would like to make sure my friend has smooth peanut butter, or almond butter rather. So let's fridge it. Okay, sorry. I'm back. I'm back on the comments. Yes, Sheng Wang. That is his name. That is the comedian's name. SHENGWANG. I loved his stand-up. Watch it on Netflix. So sweet. Gosh, I would like to just give him the longest hug. You know, funny thing is, I have been wearing sunscreen since the pandemic, at least, when I've gone out. But I haven't actually watched Jimmy Yang's stand-up, so I can't speak to it, but I feel like Sheng Wang's more of my vibe. How do you spell Lao Lao's name? Lao Lao is spelled Lao, Lao. That's just a Chinese word for grandma on your mom's side. Is INFJ really the rarest type? Is it really? How do we know that? How do we know? I should get a couch for the kitchen. That's the first time I've heard anyone recommend a couch for a kitchen. Chunky almond butter is a thing, I think. Do you spend more time outside of your kitchen? Sure, yes, I think so. But the kitchen will always be my favorite spot in any apartment, which is why I prioritize getting an equally spaced kitchen. INFJ says it's the rarest type, but somehow everyone on the internet is an INFJ. See? That's what I'm saying, though. I don't think we're the rarest type. Am I caught up? Am I caught up on comments? I'm caught up. Now you can hit me with all of it. Now I'm going to check my Instagram until I fall behind on comments. I actually need to set a few reminders for myself, like go pick up stool in Carroll Gardens, pick up stool. And tomorrow, I don't know what INFJ is. How to say father side grandma? Nai Nai. Who is Serena from Handmaid's Tale? I don't watch that show, sorry. Do you play an instrument? I used to play the piano. I can't play anymore. I haven't played in like 15 years, which is half of my life. Do I miss Aaron? He's still alive. I get lonely sometimes, but then I think about a relationship and gag. It's like a second job. Lisa, you're not wrong, but sometimes it is possible to love your job. Sometimes, not always. It is possible though. Still burnt. Still burnt. Do people oh my god. My neighbors are definitely gonna hate me now. Do people actually put the base inside their fridge? Sorry, neighbors. Let's not do that again. Do you have favorite books you'd recommend? Not really, I don't read. What is my IG? It is thank 9 stars. The number 9. Okay, listen. I really don't know how to play. Like, I can play the C major scale. I can play the chromatics because that's all I did for like 30 minutes a day for 4 years. But I really never was good at sight reading. I could not memorize any of my songs. I constantly needed sheet music. But I did pass the grade 8 level of ABRSM exams. So at one point, I was good enough to play some Beethoven. No longer. I'm a different person. I live in a co-op now, so I really can't afford to have my neighbors hate me. Like, it will make my life a living nightmare. What is my favorite thing to cook? Oatmeal, because you can't fuck it up, and it's so versatile. Grandma's congee is ready, though. Let's add ice to it. meatloaf oatmeal recipe? Like oatmeal and meatloaf, or meatloaf and oatmeal? Or do you want meatloaf recipes and oatmeal recipes but not together? Would you ever sell merch? No, never, ever, ever, no. No merch. What purpose does the ice serve? It dilutes the congee and it cools it down so I can fridge it. I mean, it's fine. The laptop is okay. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it, guys. The laptop is old. Mom has never called me dumb, but she's called me silly, which is not the same connotation. She just meant it like, I'm worried about you, my child. Why would you ever make a decision like that? This is Grandma's congee. It has red beans and a little bit of Mom's barley and flaxseed and cranberry seed and white rice and brown rice. It's for Grandma. Recipes that use oatmeal in lieu of breadcrumbs. Oh, well, breadcrumbs are also already cooked. Oatmeal absorbs a lot more water, so I would just like have the amount of oatmeal that you put in there. I would also recommend that you use instant quick cooking oats instead of whole oats, if that makes sense. I think they would be less intrusive. These ice cubes are not fully formed yet, which is why I'm struggling. I'm never prepared for emergencies. That's why they're emergencies. My mom was not really strict on me about getting good grades because I was really sick as a kid. I had a pretty serious autoimmune kidney disease, and she was just concerned about me staying alive, essentially. Does that make sense? So I think when your kid is sick, you really don't worry about any of that superficial stuff. Needs more sugar. Grandma doesn't like sugar, or so she says. But then she likes sugar when I put sugar in it. I've always had a little bit of a health issue. I had high cholesterol growing up. That was probably tied with the kidney issues. And then I had very irregular menstrual cycles. And possibly a case of semi-diagnosed PCOS, even though I was not formally diagnosed with it because I showed no secondary symptoms. Look at this cute spoon I thrifted yesterday. Delightful. Yes, we are ready to package this. What other comments do we have? Do you have any favorite YouTube channels? Yeah, but I can't tell you right now because I only have one phone and no other internet. There's a guy who reviews films who I've talked about. I really enjoy his videos. Do you feel like why me in relation to being ill a lot and yeah, of course. But you can't help that. I think a lot of us feel a lot of why me's at every single part of our lives. I don't know why you, I don't know why me. It just is, and it sucks, but like, none of us can do anything about it, so we're just gonna do our best to get through it, you know? But it's hard. You can't say that to someone who's going through the thick of it. It'll feel dismissive. So you can't really help that. These slippers are from Amazon like years ago, before the pandemic. I remember bringing some to Mom. Wow, so quiet. Of course you can have some congee. Come on over, Fran. Hi, Nez. What was your reaction to having an illness and how do you feel now about your health? I mean, like, it was a lot of why me, and it was a lot of this sucks, and it was a lot of crying, and it was a lot of anxiety, and it was a lot of worrying about dying and being sick and not being like other kids, but like, I don't know. How do I feel now about my health? Could be worse. So whatever. Right now, I'm still alive. If I get sick, I hope I have health insurance, but you know. How do you deal with unpleasant people? I don't. I leave them the fuck alone. What did you think the American dream meant for your mom? I feel my parents are conditioned heavily on me and my brother achieving that prestigious education. That could be true. Parents think that prestigious education is like a keystone of achieving conventional success. You have to decide for yourself now if conventional success is what you want, because conventional success is how your parents probably view you having security, mostly financial and somewhat social status wise, as like a safeguard for you. They just want the best for you. They want you to stay alive. They don't want you to get sick. They don't want you to die. They don't want you to starve. They don't want you to be homeless. And like, our society prescribes to a degree. Our society prescribes to a good job. Our society prescribes to status. You decide if that's also something that you want. You might not know right now what you want. You might discover in a few years what you want. But ultimately, you're the one who's going to be around to live out the rest of your life. Your parents might die before you see the end of it. So you just have to gradually suss out what it is that you want. And you don't have to know right now. It's a journey. You can change your mind. You can change your mind. And you will change as a person. So my take on it right now at this stage of my life is, it's going to be hard. It took me probably over a decade to decide what my mom wanted was not what I wanted. But it's okay if you can't figure it out right now. How old were you when you feel like you stopped caring about the health issues? I haven't stopped, but I've given up on being healthy, if that makes sense. What do you like to eat when you're sick? Fruits. Um, Damn, it's still dead. How long have we been going for? Oh my god, 2.5 hours. My phone's probably gonna die. We might not see the end of this almond butter, but what are you gonna do? I guess we won't do the soy milk today either. We'll have to bench that for another day, unfortunately. Sorry about that, folks. Misleading advertisement all around today. Let me find a jar to put them into. Any more questions? How long will the batch of congee last, Grandma? Probably a week. Do you feel like your body tell you what you need to eat to heal itself? Not always, but healing is multidimensional. It's not just what you put into your body. I don't have a brother. When I keep soaked beans in the fridge, I keep them soaked in water. They have less likelihood, in my experience, to turn rancid. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I just do it. my dad is good. I text him every other day just to check in, see if either one of us have died. My favorite thing about living by myself is not having Aaron play video games very loudly, and just having that silence. I don't like amusement parks, no. Let's take a look at our lentils. Did you come visit us again? To cap off the live? Oh, okay. Yeah, come back for snacks? Hi, Freddie. It's okay. It's okay. Hi, babe. Have I answered all of your questions except the 3 that I've avoided? But yeah, happy Sunday. Thank you so much for joining this live of incomplete almond butter making. I think we're gonna switch up the dining area, but I don't know, maybe we will keep that corner for him. We'll see, but hopefully he will let me sleep tonight. Hopefully he'll feel a lot safer tonight. I definitely will not be writing a conventional cookbook, but I won't say no to writing a book with recipes in it. That's a change, right? I'll think about it. If you guys give me a good enough reason to write a book, maybe I will. If I did write a book, what do you want to see in it? Oh, Fred was feeling very scared and upset. He was meowing the entire night. I could not sleep. It was like a newborn baby. Lentils are not like black-eyed peas. They're a lot chalkier, I feel like, potentially, but depends on how much oil and fat you cook it into. They can be very creamy. Easy recipes, transformative leftovers, mush food. Poetry, photography, non-recipe recipes. Okay, we're on the same page. We are on the same page. Mom didn't have recipes, unfortunately, but I can try to remake some of what I remember her cooking for me. You know? It's a possibility. I'm gonna try one more time to finish this almond butter, but if it doesn't work, I'm gonna sign off for the night. Hey Fred, you ready for some blender noise? Nope, it's a no-go, guys. All right, so have a great week ahead. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna put away all of my mush, and that's it. I'm gonna keep the live on while I put away the mush, but I'm not really gonna be engaging with you. So, peace out. If you only had 2 days in Queens, where would you go? Jackson Heights, obviously. Jackson Heights, Astoria, and Flushing are the 3 big hubs that I know. Jackson Heights is also kind of twinning with Elmhurst, which is very close by. I would recommend that you come to Jackson Heights first and explore here. gosh, bonus content for people who stayed. I got a scratching post from a thrift store today, so I'm gonna clean this a little bit and then we'll put it out for Freddie. See if he likes it. Let me clean it first, Freddie. I know it might have other cat scent on it, but I figured I'd just try it. Do you like my artistic framing? I hope you appreciate my artistic framing. I also got a cup for 99 cents. And it says Rio on it. I don't know why. Let's see if the sticker peels cleanly. If it doesn't, I'm gonna lose my mind. Ugh, it's not a clean peel. Why do people do this? Oh God, it's the most painful thing for me to witness the production of sticky stickers. Wow, I'm disappointed. All right, I also got this book, and yes, I know, I don't read, but this is The Floating Opera by John Barth. And I don't know how much I ended up paying for it, but anyway, I will just read you the front page. There's a quote. There's also a signature by someone called John Montgomery, 1982. Todd Andrews, quote, I woke up that morning, then slugged my rye, looked around my room, got quietly out of bed, and dressed for the office. I'm sure I splashed cold water on my face, rinsed my mouth out, wiped my reading glasses with toilet paper, rubbed my chin to persuade myself that I didn't need shaving, patted my hair down in lieu of combing it. It was at some moment during the last performance of this ritual, the instant when the cold water hit my face seems a probable one, that all things in heaven and earth came clear to me, and I realized that this day I would make my last. I would destroy myself on this day. Prefatory note to the revised edition: the floating opera was written in the first 3 months of 1955, its companion piece, The End of the Road, in the last 3 months of the same year. The opera was my first novel. I was 24, had been writing fiction industriously for 5 years, and had deservedly no success whatever with the publishers. One finally agreed to launch the opera, but on condition that the builder make certain major changes in its construction, notably about the stern. I did. The novel was published. Critics criticized the ending in particular, and I learned a boat-right little lesson. In this edition, the original and correct ending to the story has been restored, as have a number of other minor passages. The floating opera remains the very first novel of a very young man, but I'm pleased that it will sink or float now in its original design. I didn't read this page when I bought the book, but I love it even more now. That publishers told him to change the ending, and he went back knowing that it was not what he intended or wanted, and changed it back to what he wanted, and then published it again. May we all learn the lesson that he learned. 1. Tuning my piano. To someone like myself, whose literary activities have been confined since 1920 mainly to legal briefs and inquiry writing, the hardest thing about the task at hand, viz., the explanation of a day in 1937 when I changed my mind, is getting into it. I've never tried my hand at this sort of thing before, but I know enough about myself to realize that once the ice is broken, the pages will flow all too easily, for I'm not naturally a reticent fellow, and the problem then will be to stick to the story and finally to shut myself up. I've no doubts on that score. I can predict myself correctly almost every time, because opinion here in Cambridge to the contrary, my behavior is actually quite consistent. If other people, my friend Harrison Mack for instance, or his wife Jane, think I'm eccentric and unpredictable, it is because my actions and opinions are inconsistent with their principles, if they have any. I assure you that they're quite consistent with mine. And although my principles might change now and then, this book, remember, concerns one such change. Nevertheless, I always have them aplenty, more than I can handily use, and they usually hang all in a piece, so that my life is never less logical, simply for its being unorthodox. Also, I get things done, as a rule. For example, I've got this book started now, and though we're probably a good way from the story yet, at least we're headed toward it, and I for one have learned to content myself with that. Perhaps when I've finished describing that particular day I mentioned before, I believe it was about June 21st, 1937, perhaps when I reach the bedtime of that day, if ever, I'll come back and destroy these pages of piano tuning. Or perhaps not. I intend directly to introduce myself, caution you against certain possible interpretations of my name, explain the significance of this book's title, and do several other gracious things for you, like a host fussing over a guest, to make you as comfortable as possible and to dunk you gently into the meandering stream of my story. Useful activities better preserved than scrapped. To carry the meandering stream conceit a bit further, if I may, it has always seemed to me in the novels that I've read now and then that those authors are asking a great deal of their readers who start their stories furiously in the middle of things, rather than backing or settling slowly into them. Such a plunge into someone else's life and world, like a plunge into the Choptank River in mid-March, has, it seems to me, little of pleasure in it. No. Come along with me, reader, and don't fear for your weak heart. I've won myself. And know the value of inserting first a toe, then a foot, next a leg, very slowly your hips and stomach, and finally your whole self into my story, and taking a good long time to do it. This is, after all, a pleasure dip I'm inviting you to, not a baptism. Where were we? I was going to comment on the significance of the viz I used earlier, was I? Or explain my piano tuning metaphor, or my weak heart? Good heavens, how does one write a novel? I mean, how can anyone stick to the story if he's at all sensitive to the significances of things? As for me, I see already that storytelling isn't my cup of tea. Every new sentence I set down is full of figures and implications that I'd love nothing more than to chase to their dens with you, but such chasing would involve new figures and new chases, so that I'm sure we'd never get the story started, much less ended, if I let my inclinations run unleashed. Not that I'd mind, ordinarily. One book is as good as another to me. But I really do want to explain that day, either the 21st or the 22nd, in June of 1937, when I changed my mind for the last time. We'll have to stick to the channel then, you and I, though it's a shoal-dropped boat we're sailing, and let the creeks and coves go by, pretty as they might be. This metaphor isn't gratuitous, but let it go. Ready? Ready? You want to say bye?